Good morning, everybody. This is the week number 11 Utah Tech football press conference with head coach Lance Anderson ahead of this Saturday's home finale versus West Georgia. Kickoff inside Greater Zion Stadium will be at 2 p.m. Game will be streamed live on ESPN Plus with Rod Zundel and Max Christensen III on the call. Game will also be aired live on the radio on the Fan Sports Network 99.5 FM with Devin Dixon and Paul Ratliff providing the play-by-play and color commentary. Saturday's game versus West Georgia is the first ever meeting between the Trailblazers and the Wolves on the gridiron. A couple other notes: Utah Tech is 4-4 all time in its NCAA era, coming off a bye. Though the Trailblazers will be looking for their first win off of a bye in their NCAA FCS era. Their last win off a bye came during the 2015 season in a 48-25 road victory at South Dakota Mines back in the 2015 season. A couple other notes. Trailblazers will be looking for their second win of the season after posting a 34-21 upset victory at home over previously number 9 ranked Central Arkansas back on November the 2nd. Utah Tech's strength of schedule is currently the 4th toughest out of 129 FCS teams, according to the Warren Nolan.com ELO strength of schedule ratings. A couple other notes: Utah Tech's defense tied a school record with 6 turnovers and not racked up a season high 9 tackles for loss in the Central Arkansas win. As you all know, Reggie Graff was the UAC and the NCAA Division I FCS National Player of the Week after he accounted for all 4 touchdowns, including his running for, passing for, and catching a touchdown, which is the first player to do it in the FCS era, and obviously the first one to do it in school history here at Utah Tech. A couple other notes. The coaches show will be on today at 6 o'clock, both on Trailblazer Sports Vision and on the Fan Sports Network. And Saturday's pregame show will start at 1 p.m. Streamed live on the Fan Sports Network and on Trailblazer Sports Vision. With that, we'll open up with the opening statement from Coach and questions following that. Coach.
I'll start with Central Arkansas, and obviously that was a big win for us. It was great to finally see us put things together, play well on both sides of the ball, really play well in all phases. The 6 takeaways on defense was huge and made a huge difference in the game. And then it was very encouraging on offense that we were more efficient running the football. We completed some very, critical passes in that game. I think Reggie Graff did a great job of operating the offense and, great job of execution in that game, on his part. Eni Falai had some big plays for us. So that was just encouraging on so many fronts, especially going into the bye week. I think we've had some good work over the bye week. Hopefully we've also been able to get a few guys back healthy and ready to play. We've solely focused on, West Georgia now for over a week, and they're a good team with some outstanding players. They're very creative on the offensive side of the ball, and present a lot of issues for you where you've got to be very disciplined, very sound in what you do. So again, we're looking for chance to really build on that win. I mean, that's been our message to the team is, we can't be satisfied with just one win and finally breaking through. We've got to build on that. We've got to be able to sustain that momentum. And so that will be our big challenge this week against West Georgia.
Hey, Coach, I know you need the bye week to get healed up with a lot of your players, but after a win like that, would you just as soon get right back at it the next week and try to carry on that momentum?
I don't know, whatever ends up being best, but I mean, you want to carry over that momentum. You want to be able to build. You want to be able to, sustain that momentum. But I think the bye week did come at a good time because I mean, we've been beat up. We played 10 straight weeks or whatever it's been. So it's good to get that bye. It's good to get back and really concentrate on some fundamentals. It was nice to get an early jump on West Georgia. Because they do a lot of things that really challenge you. So it's good to get those extra reps, plus getting guys some rest, getting guys back. So we hope to capitalize on that and build on that momentum on Saturday.
Coach, you mentioned getting guys back. Can you specifically say names of maybe players that have been out that you think are going to be able to go?
I've got a few definites where it looks like Spencer Rich should be back this week. There's a good possibility. I think Jagger Williams could be back this week. Jay Sweeten will definitely be back this week. So those are some that we know. There's still others that, you know, are working their way back. They're not fully integrated into practice yet, but we hope with still a couple days left of practice this week that we can get some of those other guys back and ready to go on Saturday as well. Where had we played last Saturday, I mean, there were a number of other guys who would just completely have been ruled out, or at least I think this week. Another one I got to mention is Brevin Hamblin, where, you know, he went down and missed almost the entire Central Arkansas game. He's back practicing. He will be back this week. So yeah, it's definitely encouraging, you know, guys like Rich and Sweeten, Hamblin, you know, having those guys back will certainly help.
You talk about Hamlin missing most of the game. In that fourth quarter, you had guys in the defensive secondary that had maybe played a total of 5 or 6 snaps the entire season, and they were able to hold Central Arkansas at bay. Just talk about those guys coming in and getting the job done.
Oh, I mean, really, like the last 2 games, like in the secondary, we've had guys make their college debuts and play for the first time, you know, for Utah Tech in critical situations, on the road against Eastern Kentucky and then at home against Central Arkansas in a big win. So whether it's, you know, Kyle Parker, Jeremiah Jamo, Brady Sorensen, Furious Hoskins, those guys were playing their first college football these last 2 weeks, and they responded and played well. I mean, Brady Sorensen comes in and has 2 interceptions. Kyle Parker, the last 2 weeks, a number of solid tackles for us and doing a really solid job in coverage at the corner position. So, boy, it was great to see those guys step up and respond. And that's why the bye week was very beneficial for guys like that who haven't played a lot of snaps for us yet, but are going to be very instrumental and important for us these last 2 weeks of the season.
What was that moment in the locker room, the celebration? We have video of that. And what was that moment like for you? Not only to get your first head coaching win, but also see the attitude of the players after all their hard work, and they finally got to feel some success.
Very rewarding, something we've been looking forward to all season long. And just, it felt so great to just get that weight off your shoulders, maybe get that monkey off our back a little bit. Because like I've said, throughout this, yes, it's been discouraging. It's been difficult. I think at times the players have maybe pressed a little bit too much. But the great thing is they just continued to work. They continued to believe. The attitude, the effort, you know, really buying into what we're trying to build here has been there. And that's why it was great to finally see the reward, finally see some tangible evidence that, hey, maybe we're headed in the right direction. We still have a ways to go, but we're doing a lot of good things, and hopefully we're on the right track.
Coach, you mentioned Brady Sorensen with his 2 interceptions, but that game you guys had a bunch of turnovers, 6 if I'm not mistaken. Tell me about that defense against Central Arkansas and what you guys are taking into this game against West Georgia this week.
That was huge. It seems like we've come so close so many times this year where maybe it's a tipped ball, you know, a fumble, and we don't recover it. You know, a ball that's hitting our hands and we're not catching it. It seemed like we started to capitalize on all those on Saturday with the 6 takeaways, and really could have been a 7th as well, where, you know, we thought that ball was out and they called the runner that maybe his forearm was down, not just his hand. So and those really made a difference in the game. I mean, it changed momentum, it changed field position. The offense was able to convert and put points on the board as a result of a lot of those takeaways. So that's huge. That's why, you know, that's just one of the biggest stats in football. I mean, the team that wins the turnover battle each week has a great, you know, chance to win. And that's, you know, just confirmed that on Saturday. And I mean, it's not easy to do that, but it's great. And you should have a great chance to win when you get 6 takeaways.
Coach, you mentioned the players in the locker room, but for the coaches, you guys are grinding, you guys are working, and I know, you know, you're happy for the players, but when you got all your coaches together after that elusive first win, what was that conversation like?
You know, I mean, it's probably like more just like a sense of relief, like, you know, finally it's there. You know, we think we're doing the right things, we're working hard, you know, we're putting in the effort. But it's just hard when you don't. I mean, because this game, it's just, hey, do you win or do you not? Do you win or do you lose? And it's all based on that. So it was really, I'd say it felt more like just a sense of relief. But again, just very rewarding to get that win. And it's great that we still have 2 weeks left in the season, that now we have a chance, that we've got to build on that. We got to capitalize on that and be able to sustain some of this positive momentum.
How have you kept the eye on West Georgia and not started to, you know, peek ahead at the rivalry game next week?
You know, again, I think our guys have done a good job all year long, and I mean, just focused on 1 week at a time. And that opponent, I think it's been great that we have that extra preparation time for West Georgia. We definitely need it. I think they do a very good job of scheming their game plan type operation where they try to see what you do on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, and then they try to find ways to take advantage of that. So they have a lot of, scheme beaters, in their system on both sides of the ball. So it's been good for us to be able to rep some of those things where we've got to be disciplined. We got to play with great eye control. And it's been good to have those extra reps to prepare for a team like that on Saturday.
Wanted to ask you about Reggie Graff and all the accolades. I know Reggie, I've seen him playing football for years and years locally here, but seems like he's a kid that won't get too high or too low, but there had to have been a smile on Reggie's face after the performance in that win.
There certainly was. And, I just, happened to see his parents after the game as well. And I mean, they had big smiles on their faces and very emotional. Because I think, for a kid like that to just work so hard to get to this point, and like all of us in the program, we haven't had a lot of tangible evidence for the work we put in, but it's great to get that win. And Reggie just did a great job of operating the offense, of executing on Saturday, whether it was, some critical throws in the passing game, just making plays with his feet, when he had to scramble. We had a number of, designed quarterback runs, quarterback draws, and he did a great job of executing those. And, just very efficient on Saturday, and just very proud of his effort for sure.
Have you noticed the last week and a half after that win, a little extra pep in their step, an attitude change a little bit with your guys?
I really think it helped. Again, like I said, the guys have worked hard. There's been good energy. There's been good effort. But I think especially going into a bye week where you knew you didn't have a game at the end of the week, I think it helped, provide maybe a little bit of extra momentum, a little bit of extra, motivation that, hey, let's get out there. Let's build on this. Let's put in some good work. I think there's that excitement after the win. So I think we had a good bye week. We had some good practices. I think we were able to accomplish a lot. I think a lot of that is due to the win for sure.
Coach, any new wrinkles Coach Stevens is putting in offensively this week? Any new plays you guys with the bye week have been able to install?
Oh, there have been. I mean, we got a few gadgets and a few wrinkles and things like that in, like we do every week. And it's good to have the extra time to be able to rep those things where we need to work on a little bit of timing. We need to execute them a few extra times. So yeah, I think we got a few things in, and hopefully the right opportunities will come up where we can use them. I mean, kind of like the Philly special for the touchdown was big against Central Arkansas, and hopefully we'll have a few little gadgety things in as well that might help us.
How much had you worked on that Philly special in practice, and did it work every time in practice?
Not every time, but I mean, that's something the offense has repped since back in fall camp. I think the first time they ran it against the defense, they got us defensively on it, and then maybe the next time we were a little more prepared. So yeah, it's something they've been repping since fall camp on offense, and so we've had it ready, and that was great call by Coach Stevens and great execution at a critical time.
That's all I got. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, seeing none, we will see you all on Saturday afternoon. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
See you guys.